Alright, so what's up, guys? You're speaking to Galded Amond here. I'm about to do a rune spread for you guys. I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to give you guys 3 different rune spreads to work with, and hopefully you can find one that you find a liking to, and it'll help you on your quest with Devilation. First of all, guys, I'd like to start with guys, when you do rune spreads, please use a sash of runes. I've seen so many guys go out there using papers and twigs and all sorts of things they can find, and it's real simple. I've got my sash right over here, and I got this from a store called House of Isis. I got it for 250 Rand, and it's not that expensive. It comes with a book, and it's got everything you need, so it's a real good investment for you guys to actually look towards. Get it proper, and we can go and have fun from there. Secondly, I've got my pentacle on the table here, or pentagram. Don't worry about that, guys. I just like having my visual representation with me at all times. Some of you might like it as well. Some of you might feel to do this outside. It's all up to you as a practitioner and what you find comfortable. Thirdly, you need a page, a piece of paper, and a pen, guys. The reason for this will go back to my first topic, which was why you should have a sash of runes and not write it on paper. I'll explain this to you in more depth in a moment. Alright, this is going to be the first out of 3 rune readings. I'm going to show you guys all 3, but I'm going to start at the basic. It's a simple set. This is a 3-part rune reading, as you can see with the 3 circles. The reason why I've drawn my 3 circles is so I can write my runes within them, so I don't lose track of what's going on. And this is why I said you need a pen and paper, guys, because you don't want to have a scenario where you draw your rune. And remember, guys, when you're selecting your rune, you want to sort of like play with the runes in between your fingers, and the rune that sticks between your fingers is the rune that's calling out to you. You must feel an urge or a sensation or a calling. It must attract itself to you. So I'm gonna just do that real quick, give you guys a quick example here. Alright, so I've got my first rune here being Perthel, initiation. Now I've got my rune. I put my rune down. Now if I put my rune down and I draw another rune from the bag, and now I'm down to 2 runes. Now you'll notice that I'm short within the bag. There should be 25 runes in the rune sash at all times. This is why we draw and we write the runes. We don't just put the actual stones on the ground. So my first rune, remember, guys, was Perthel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to label them. You can label it left to right, right to left, it doesn't matter. I prefer right to left, however. It's just how my mind works. So now, sorry about that. So now we put Perthel in here as my first rune. Now I'm gonna draw my other 2 runes, and we'll start off from there. Alright, so I've drawn my second rune, I've drawn my third rune, my second rune being Manas, and my third rune being Urus. For those of you that don't know the rune descriptions as yet, I do have another video, you guys can check it out, and it's got all your Magstav and your verted rune meanings. Okay, so now to continue with this, basically, those of you that are familiar with the Devilation know that when you draw the rune, you're basically asking yourself a question, or you're asking Odin himself, you're asking the runes, your higher power, a question. And what happens is sometimes the runes might not answer the question you're asking directly, simply because they feel that there is a more pressing matter or a more pressing need at hand that you should be aware of. So in this case, this is my rune spread, this is my reading, I'm about to break it down for you guys. In point form, you numbered your runes 1, 2, and 3. Some of you may have done it left to right, it doesn't really matter. Your first rune represents the overview of your situation. So in my case, initiation, Perthel being one of the runes of obviously the circle of initiation, which means now that my situation, the question that I've asked, which I'm not going to tell you guys, of course it is my question, but it basically means the overview of my situation is in play. So the doubts I'm having right now are in play. The second point, your second rune in this rune spread, is your current challenge. In this case, my current challenge is Manas, movement, which means I'm either struggling to move forward in life, or I am struggling to maybe get a job, or maybe, it all depends on what your question was originally. So you will know in what relation the runes are speaking to you directly. In my case, it is movement of location, physical location. Alright, my third rune here is action. Now, this is me or the runes basically contemplating, should I take the action? Whatever it is I'm contemplating, should I now make that leap or should I not make that leap? In this case, I've got Urus, which is a rune for strength, and it is verted, which is positive, which means yes, Galdot, you are free to go. Your question is being looked at. Initiation, it's in the move. We know what your challenge is, but you have a way out of it. This is basically the first rune spread, the 3-part rune reading, and that is basically how you do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned, check out my next video, which will be on part 2 on your second rune spread, and we'll go from there.